Hello everybody, I'm Dallin and welcome to X Uses Zest. In today's LEGO video, we're going to be taking a look at all the modifications that you can do on the LEGO Star Wars Bad Batch Attack Shuttle. Now honestly, I love this set and all, but it has a lot of issues with it. Mainly for me, it's missing a lot of the key details that the ship in the show has, as well as a lot of issues with playability and swooshability. So that is why I went ahead and modified my Havoc Marauder to go ahead and just make it a whole lot better. And today I'm just going to be showing you guys those modifications that I made to my own ship. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at them. Now before we take a look at these modifications that I'm about to show you, I'd like to welcome anybody who may be new here to the channel. Welcome to X Uses Zest, the place where we talk all about Legos, Nerf guns, video games, and more. If you'd like to, please consider joining us by hitting that red subscribe button down below, as well as hitting the bell icon right next to it to be notified when we make new videos. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a big thumbs up on it. Alright, so first things first, I went ahead and modified the bark speeder that comes with the set. Basically, I just wanted to make it look a little bit more accurate and a little less oversized, and basically it's the exact same modification that I made to the 501st Battle Pack bark speeder. So if you want to know how to modify your speeder to look pretty much just like these, I will link a video down in the description. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the Havoc Marauder, starting off at the outside. Now I think probably the most noticeable thing that anybody will see looking at the Havoc Marauder now is the fact that I went ahead and extended the ship by 4 studs. And the reason I did this was I wanted to go ahead and add the little loading ramp right here. I thought that was a super important part of the ship that the original design didn't get, because in the Bad Batch show, we usually see the characters get off and on the ship using this method right here. So yeah, basically I just went ahead and extended the ship by 4 studs. That way I was able to add just this little bit of detail right here, because I thought that was very well needed. And just to keep it consistent on both sides, I basically did the same thing on this side, but instead I went ahead and made this into kind of like a weapons rack right here. That way it doesn't open out all the way, because as far as I remember, we don't usually see them getting on this side. It's always usually been this side right here. Anyways, moving on to the bottom, you can kind of see my my attempt at making landing gear right here. Personally, I don't think it looks the best. It's kind of just like in prototype right now. But yeah, basically I just wanted to add a little bit of landing gear because I felt like this ship definitely needed it. Especially if I was going to add the little loading ramp there. That way, you know, we get a little bit of a slope right there and it looked cool. And it was definitely missing that from the original thing. Now, the only problem with this landing gear in the current state as it is, you know, for the front, you basically have to take it off if you want to fly the ship around. And then you kind of fold these up, which isn't necessarily the prettiest thing on the bottom, but if you have the wings folded down, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, just trying to, you know, put it all away is a bit of a pain. And trying to kind of work around with it is also a bit of a pain too, because you also have these spring-loaded missile shooters down here on the bottom, which are little bits of playability that I actually do want to keep, because I actually really do enjoy the little spring-loaded missiles. I think they're pretty fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that off here, and we're going to move around to the back towards the gunner's window. So originally I thought this was some sort of tail light or something like that here in the back, but apparently this is actually the gunner's window, which is a whole lot smaller than it looks in the show, but that's alright. And basically I realized that the guns didn't really look right being all the way down here, so I went ahead and moved them up right here to where they'd be a little bit more comfortable looking, I guess. So basically that's all I did right there. And then just to kind of fit the new shape of the ship, I went ahead and extended this center wing just by a couple of studs. That way it didn't look like, you know, this part of the ship was huge, but then the rest of it was super small. But yeah, that's basically the outside of the ship. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So to access the inside, basically you just pull it up by the cockpit here, and it's all just one solid piece. Oh, one thing I also forgot to mention too was one big problem that most people had with the ship was the lack of swooshability. You know, with the original model, you try to pull it up this way, and you know, it would be a bit of a problem because it would just open up and you can't really fly it like that. But just with a simple fix using only 2 pieces, you can basically add just a little bit more of that stud power there, and now you can just pick it up and swoosh it around, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah, anyways, opening up the cockpit, you just kind of peel it up like that, and it's all just one solid piece, and you get a look inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that off, that way it's not just flying around, I guess. Alright, so starting up here in the cockpit, I didn't really change a whole lot other than the seats, just to make it so they weren't taking as much room. And then also just up here in the front, originally these pieces right here were yellow, and I did not like how that looked. Also, just right here, right behind those seats as well, you can also see the little loading ramp right here, which opens up. And then on this side right here, you can see the little gun rack that I have, and I'm probably just going to add on to that sometime here in the future. But for now, I just have a little rifle right there, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now, probably one of the more complicated parts of modifying this was trying to get rid of these Technic beams right up here in the front, because that was another big complaint that most people had with this set. You know, it was very lacking in the space that it had, mostly because a lot of the space that was being taken up was stuff that was being used to support the wings. And so basically I kind of restructured the inside here. I'll go ahead and take this piece off right here. I basically restructured the inside so it's almost just cut in half in a way, and that way you can have this little hallway right here. And this used quite a few of those jumper plates, which are super nifty. So that's how I was able to accomplish that for the most part. I went ahead and just added these smooth pieces right here that were originally somewhere just kind of right here. And originally they had like the little storage compartment right here, which I thought was a little bit unnecessary, but you know, just a little bit of playability. But I also just wanted some more space on the inside. That way I was able to fit all the members of the Bad Batch on the inside as well. Alright, and then taking a further look here, you can also see that I went ahead and added the little console right here that we see Echo or Tech use when they're not flying the ship. So I don't necessarily have the best pieces for the controls right here, but I also just wanted to reuse these stickered pieces that came with the original set, because I actually love how these pieces look. Now the console itself is more of like a hexagonal shape, but I felt like this was pretty good enough for the most part, especially since these stickers are absolutely amazing. I just love them. And then sadly for the rest of the ship, there isn't a whole lot of space. I mean, like, you have basically just the rest of this. So I went ahead and took apart the box that came in the little storage compartment, and I went ahead and added these pieces right here, just, you know, just for little compartments right here. If you wanted to throw in a couple of thermal detonators or some credits or something in here, you can go ahead and do that. And then just right here, I just have a couple of weapon clips. So you can put like hunter's knives right here, or maybe one of the ARC Trooper blasters or something, just for a little bit more storage as well. But yeah, sadly this ship does not have a whole lot of space to work with, even once you begin to clear it out. But yeah, that is basically the modification that I did here on the Havoc Marauder. Nothing is necessarily set in stone, but if you have like any recommendations on what else I should modify on the inside of the ship, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section. I would love to hear your suggestions and stuff as well. And be on the lookout here in the near future as well. I'm also going to start doing modification guides on how to do these modifications here in the near future as well, just like what I did for the Lego Mandalorian Razor Crest as well. But yeah, that is it for all of the modifications. Alright friends, that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching it. If you have any sort of other ideas or modifications that you would like to see me implement into the Bad Batch Shuttle, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section. I love talking to you guys and I love hearing your ideas. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you enjoyed watching this video today, please consider leaving a big thumbs up on this video. And if you haven't already, please consider hitting that red subscribe button down below to join us here on the channel. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.